And away we go. It is the Nightcap, brought to you by Galactic Fried Chicken, right here on BearcatJournal.com. www.galacticfriedchicken.com for everything Galactic. Go to the website. They will deliver right to your front door, pretty much anywhere inside the 275 loop, or head down to see our good friends in Dayton, Kentucky. Tell them to pump it up, and they will save you 15% off of your order, lunch, and dinner, Wednesday through Sunday. Hi, Aaron.
Yo.
I'm a little better. I know it's not all the way back yet, but but it's better than it was for most of last week. If you're wondering why there hasn't been any content for a couple days, I couldn't talk. And in this business, that's not great. Not great, Bob. Not great.
And the world stood still.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, everybody I knew would seem to be very pleased with the recent turn of events of me not being able to speak.
I can imagine.
But yeah, everybody seemed pretty satisfied by it. I tried to just stay home and sleep, but anyhow, how you been? Things good?
Yeah, we'll have two more sleeps before there's a new addition to the family, so it's coming quick.
Yeah, it happens fast.
Still don't have a name. We have ideas, but we'll see.
Yeah, go. Name her after the queen. Just name her Kylie.
We have to go X because all the other kids have X's in their names.
I'll come up with something. Well, good luck. Keegan is probably filling in for me tomorrow. I have to get Kelsey from a volleyball camp in West Lafayette, Indiana, at 8:00 tomorrow night, and then have her back here and ready for conditioning for high school volleyball Tuesday at 8 a.m. So you'll probably get Keegan tomorrow night on the BBP, but we'll get back in our then Aaron has a baby, and then I have volleyball nationals for Kelsey coming up in 2 weeks, 10 days, whatever it is. So it's gonna be an interesting couple weeks here in June, but we'll get through it. But then by the time that's over, Aaron, moving and shaking again.
Plenty of filling.
Almost time. Yeah.
Yeah.
Big 12 meetings happened at the end of the week, and our guy Justin Williams has an article up at The Athletic, kind of touching on that topic. You weren't thrilled reading through his summary of the Big 12 meetings.
And it's not his fault. He writes eloquently. We all know that.
Yeah.
That's not anything anybody will ever be able to take away from Justin Williams. But it's just the subject matter is it's the same thing over and over. No matter what you're reading right now on college football, it's just all about the settlement and how we're going to pay the players, who's going to get paid, how they're going to get paid. Nobody knows anything. Title IX, what are we doing? It's the same song and dance with every article, with not a ton of new information, because at the end of the day, what we're really stuck with is the fact that nobody knows what they're doing. We're in the infancy of a mess.
Yeah, I mean, look, it's conference meetings. It's a week after the settlement was handed down. Of course, it's going to be not just talking point A, but like A, B, C, and D. There's no games anywhere in sight to discuss. There's no,
they did talk. They did talk scheduling. It was mentioned in the last paragraph.
Yeah, we had one relevant topic that wasn't money related.
There were discussions on things like scheduling and how to handle the growth of sports gambling. That's the entirety of any other topic other than money.
The thing is, Aaron, the reality is Tiger's not happy about it either.
I dig it.
Yeah, how could he be? As this plays out, this is what we're going to talk about in the offseason. I know it's not fun. I know it's not what anybody wants. But until we get to a point where there's not massive changes happening I mean, that's the last 3 off seasons. It's just been massive shifts in the college sports landscape. Until we reach a point where there's some common ground and we kind of have a quiet off season, this is what everything is going to look like when there's no games being played, because nobody knows what the hell is going on and how we're going to get there and how we're going to get back.
Yeah, it's messy. I can't wait for all of the yarn to be unraveled, but I don't know. I mean, you talk about the Big 12 being able to essentially split $470 million to their schools, which was more than the conference had ever been able to split up. Of course, it does come at the cost of the 4 new schools getting $18 million each this year, $19 million next year. So while it was the most the conference had ever had to be able to split up, they also had less than what they made last season with only having 10 teams in the conference, even with Oklahoma and Texas foregoing $100 million in order to leave the conference early. But yeah, that's like I said. I mean, when you start talking about that money and you get to the revenue share portion of it, which was allowed with the settlement last 2 weeks ago, I guess now, you're looking at this. Who are you paying? Who are you paying? Essentially,
yeah.
How much are you going to pay? Is Title IX going to factor in? Because you have Title IX lawyers, as was mentioned in the article, saying that yes, Title IX is going to come into play. You have the conference operating as Title IX doesn't matter anymore, and that's because of the way that they view the settlement as having been worded. So who knows? Then you also have the topic of NIL, and is NIL going to be brought in-house, as some speculate? I don't think that's going to be the way that it's going to go. But the settlement does allow for NIL to now be brought in-house, according to the wording, and maybe that's something that you see. But if you did bring NIL in-house, would that be part of the revenue sharing that you'd be talking about? Would it be coming out of that slice of the pie? Or
unless
would it be, or do you want to leave it its own entity and allow the players to make more money? But they of course widely speculate that now NIL is going to be used the way it was intended to be used, and it's going to not be pay for play, and instead it's going to be for athletes really actually making money on their name and image and likeness. I'm not buying any of it.
I think if you bring NIL in-house, it will have to go down that road.
Sure. Yes.
Which means there's going to be a lot of people that don't bring NIL in-house.
Right. Because now you have to abide by the rules, and you have to play by the rules the NCAA has set up in their giant, thick-ass book of rules that probably contradict each other entirely too many times.
Well, there's no probably. Definitely contradict each other. And are typically against like laws, like actual, like, you know,
which is why we're here
and lose, which is why we're here in the first place.
All of them.
I mean, that part is going to be really interesting as far as how NIL is handled. Because ultimately, if it's out of house and it's not associated with the program, and they want to keep buying players, pay for play, like however you want to phrase it, the NCAA is not going to be able to police that because they'll be taken to court, and you know what will happen?
Yep, they'll lose. The same way they always do. Right, because at the end of the day, it comes down to name, image, and likeness, and good luck proving that they're not doing things that are contributing to getting paid for their name, image, and likeness.
I mean, sure, they've already become very smart about all that. Where you go read books at an elementary school, and you make $7,000 a month to go to an elementary school once every other week and read The Cat in the Hat. It's a good gig if you can get it.
I want to just do that.
Yeah, me too. Me too. I'll act out characters. I'll put on a funny hat. Like, you name it.
I'll go full blown puppet show.
Wu-Tang is for the children. So, I mean, but
trick a lot of kids.
but yeah, that part, I mean, it's going to give some schools an advantage. There are going to be some schools that I would assume play it by the book, bring NIL in-house, so that it can be better regulated, because that's what the NCAA wants. They're incentivizing already.
Sure.
Yeah. Because they want to have their own guardrails. And if it's I mean, look, sometimes I've had a lot of talks with people in this industry. Sometimes the people that are outside the house can do a lot more help than the people that are inside the house, because they're not playing with their hands tied behind their back. And, NIL is kind of, it's going to be interesting to see which way that goes.
I think that's where you have to be encouraged by the fact that Brett Yormark is leading the conference, though, as he has been the guy in charge of the Brooklyn Nets. He has been the guy in charge of NASCAR and finding ways to make additional revenue for either a team itself or a franchise as a whole, like the whole thing. NASCAR as
that was
as a
mentioned in the article that
correct.
What is happening now looks a lot more like what he used to do than what he is currently doing.
So he's handled it at both the micro level and at the macro level. So he's kind of been able to dabble in both worlds, if you will. So of course, they mentioned private equity, which let's all hope that we don't end up going down that road. But he's also can't badmouth it in case some of the schools do end up going down that road, because you don't want to put yourself in a position where you can't allow schools under your umbrella to make money if that's the way that they so choose to do. But he also talks about things like putting logos on field, or at least Justin talks about it.
Oh, that's common.
But I would agree. But just kind of the way that the Reds, the Bengals, and name any other professional team whores out the entire stadium. Any real estate that you have to put a sticker up, that they're going to find a way. And if you can't, then they're going to find a place to put it on with CGI. So there's plenty of ways to try and find a spot for a logo.
How long before you think it's on helmets? Like Steeple on one side.
Oh, it'll be a patch
on the other. No, I'm asking about helmets. That is the prime real estate in football. Not here. This is what everybody sees.
I don't think it's going to end up on a helmet. I think that's the sacred place, especially when you have helmets. Some helmets that don't have anything on them at all.
You say sacred. There's nothing sacred. And money is the only thing sacred anymore.
Well, I hope we don't see it. I hope that I'm dead and gone before they start putting logos for capitalism on helmets.
They got to come up with this money somehow. The nasty system is taking $20 million out of the school's pockets. They got to replenish that war chest somewhere.
If it means that the price of apples goes up 50 cents every time I go buy apples for Kroger to put their logo on a helmet to give the schools money, fuck it, I'm out.
You're still going to buy your kids apples.
I just don't want it.
It's coming. I mean, there's nothing you could like. I know you are Mr. Kicking and Screaming, but you're going to do a lot of kicking and screaming over the next 5 years as this water finds its level.
They'd be the first ones to do that, though. You haven't seen that in any other sport at this point. I don't even think you're going to see it on the NFL helmets. I think that the NFL is going to.
No, the NFL doesn't have to. The NFL is like money is falling out of the helmets. Like there's just money out of the chin strap falling out of the back.
If they see everybody else is doing it, why not make another extra couple $1 million a year?
Yeah,
you just paid for your entire special teams unit by getting logos on your jerseys. They'll be fun.
It'll happen in college before it happens in the NFL.
Quite possibly. But it sounds like that's the road we're going down.
Yeah. Everything's for sale. Aaron.
But
Everything's
maybe
for sale.
that sounds like, though, if you're bringing in additional sources of revenue, you have to make sure that 22% is tabulated to come out for,
It's
to
going
go
to the
back
players.
to the athletes. So
Right.
good luck figuring out where the red and green is to finish
Yeah.
in the black, I guess.
Just trying to finish in like green, just even, like 0.
Yeah.
All right, that's gonna wrap it up. BBP tomorrow night. I might be in for Aaron on the George of the Jungle show Wednesday. We'll see how that goes. Next couple
Tuesday.
weeks are gonna be or Tuesday. Next couple weeks are gonna be seat of our pants. We'll figure it out. See you next time. That's the nightcap. Brought to you by Galactic Fried Chicken, right here on BearcatJournal.com.
See ya.